yeah, welcome to Carol's Universe, Tarot Readings from the Heart. So you're reading for the 16th to the end of the month, 31st of October. Now apologies if it's coming a little bit late because my uploading time isn't that great sometimes. So yeah, it's just a little bit, I'm hoping to get this up by the 16th, by the way. But yeah, if it's a little bit late, hopefully it's only sort of a day or two out. This is your Love Gypsy Tarot spread, and this is for singles. We've got one for couples on the channel, so if you're in a couple, check that one out. Having problems with relationships, whatever the case might be, check that relationship reading out for the last 2 weeks in October. This is for if you're single, okay? So I've decided to split the Gypsy Tarot Love spreads, one for singles and one for those of you who are actually in relationships. You'll also have on the channel your general reading for the last 2 weeks of October 2017. So for your reading, guys, I'm using the Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan, and we're using, if we need to use the clarifier deck, it's just the small miniature edition of the Rider-Waite Tarot. And for your advice card at the end of the reading, we're using the Romance Angels deck, okay? So without further ado, what we're going to do really is I'm taking all my keys and everything off. Oh dear, sorry, I've just come off doing a load of personal readings. So Universe Spirit, show me Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising signs. All I want is a love reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising signs, Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising signs, Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising signs for the last 2 weeks in October 2017. So from between the 16th and the 31st of October 2017, show me Gemini, what's coming in for Gemini in terms of love. Show me for those Geminis who are single. I just want to see Geminis who are single, okay? Show me Geminis who are single. Oops, going all over the place. Show me Geminis who are single in a 21 card Gypsy Tarot spread. Show me Geminis. All I want to see is single Geminis. What's the energies around single Geminis for the last 2 weeks of October 2017 for love? Show me. Alright, so we've shuffled on the cards. We're going to split the deck as we usually do into 3. Collect it back up, and what we're going to do, we're going to start laying the cards out. So I'm doing the Gypsy Tarot slightly different to what I've been doing over the last sort of couple of times that I've done these spreads. I prefer doing it this way actually. It's with the 7 areas: the mental, emotional, the present situation, hopes and desires, expectations, immediate future, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Immediate future and overall outcome, okay? I prefer doing it that way. I don't mind the other way, but I like doing it this way. I think I'm going to move this down just slightly so it's a bit more centered on the screen. Okay, let's move these up a little bit here. See, they still look off center to me. Maybe I need to, yeah, I need to push, sorry, I need to push it this way a little bit, like so. That's better. 2, 3. And remember, this reading is for singles. If you're in a couple, you can still start this reading if you want. It's up to you. Depends on if you're sort of on a break from a relationship or you're mid-relationship or something like that. It's up to you what you view, really. There we go. Okay. And the energies around you are the Knight of Pentacles, okay, for the energies around you guys. Knight of Pentacles, it could be that there's a Virgo person involved in a relationship. Difficult, the cards are multifaceted. Sometimes this means with the Knight of Pentacles, I mean, we've got somebody who might be interested in love here for you guys, okay. But I think with the 7 of Pentacles, I usually choose 3 cards for the bottom of the deck to have a look at what the general energies are around you. I hate the way the cards look at the moment, only because they look slanted. So I think that somebody might be moving slowly towards love, only because the 7 of Pentacles usually infers that somebody's waiting. So it might be a Virgo person that you like, guys, are in love with. It might be that you're waiting for something, Gemini, around this individual. 7 of Pentacles represents when somebody's waiting. It might be that somebody's moving slow, they're dragging their heels. Knight of Pentacles is notorious for being a very, very slow mover in any situation, whether it's business, whether it's relationships, whatever the case is. Very slow moving energy when you get the Knight of Pentacles. It's either a Virgo, top tier, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, usually Virgo though. Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. If it's not an earth sign, then it's somebody I think that's dragging their heels in terms of this relationship maybe. Or they might be moving slowly in terms of their revealing their feelings to you here. and with the Seven of Pentacles, you're waiting for something. Some of you guys might be waiting for a proposal of love or something like that, or even just a proposal. But, you know, you're single, so this would be somebody who's dragging their heels over showing you something, because you're not actually in a relationship with this person because you're single, okay? So I think it's somebody around you. It's either an earth sign, Gemini, sorry, a top tier Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or it's somebody who's, you know, as well as being an earth sign, doesn't have to be, that's moving slowly, possibly in terms of love, and maybe it's love, somebody's moving slowly and love you're waiting for, okay, as keywords together. Around the mental and emotional in terms of your love lives, well, the situation is about strength. So the situation in terms of strength, sometimes the situation requires patience, because the strength card either requires that you are patient and, you know, it's a slowly, softly approach that wins the day with the strength card. Could also be potentially there's a Leo individual, if this isn't Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Could be with the strength card as well, that the situation is that there is something of a soulmate attraction. Opposites attract is what the strength card is about. The strength card also is the card where one needs to be strong in holding back. So it might be the situation is either you or somebody else has great feelings for you, Gemini, but they're holding back on that with the strength energy. What's your mental and emotional around that? Well, the Page of Pentacles, and it does fit very, very well in with the strength card actually, because the strength card represents when we are being very cautious. That's what the strength card is. The lion is really the ego, and the lion is the passion, and it's the force of will that everybody holds within them. But with the lion and the lady holding the reins on the lion, what she's saying is, whoa, hold back a minute. Just curb that instinct, curb that impulse to do something here. And around that mentally and emotionally, I think that this might be you guys potentially, because mentally and emotionally you're the Page of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles is a very slow mover as well. Page of Pentacles will take his time to assess, to evaluate, to look into the details of a situation. So mentally with the Page of Pentacles, it might be that you are taking, it's almost also another spy card. Spy cards within the, or people who are looking into the details of a situation within the tarot, Gemini, are usually cards like Page of Swords, Page of Pentacles is another one, Seven of Swords can be another one, somebody who's being a little bit underhanded, they're doing a bit of spying, a bit of looking, seeing what's out there, but they're concealing themselves, for example. Moon card can potentially be another card like that as well. You get a lot of cards in the tarot that indicate somebody's doing something kind of beneath the radar, and the Page of Pentacles can be that card as well. So the Page of Pentacles often requires the need to study a situation, to look at it in its most truthful light. And mentally you guys might be involved in some studying around an individual. It might be that emotionally with the Page of Pentacles you're taking your time. So if mentally, you know, there is the need to kind of assess a situation from a mental point of view with the Page of Pentacles energy, emotionally I feel that you almost feel like it's the right thing to do, because this is the card about being and acting responsibly. It's about acting responsibly with the one chance that you've got here to make something right. And what's the reason for that? Well, because of the Six of Swords in the reverse. So some of you guys, it might be that you haven't recovered. It's either that somebody's wanting to come back to you, because the Six of Swords in the reverse often refers to when somebody's coming back and they're making an apology. So for some of you single guys out there, it might be that there's been a partner from the past. Somebody's come back with that Six of Swords in the reverse, and mentally and emotionally you're not moving towards this too quickly. So you might not be contacting this person, for example, Gemini with the Page of Pentacles. You might say, oh, hang on. And also the situation is about strength. So I think for some of you guys, Gemini, it might be the case with the strength card is you're holding back a little bit, you're a bit resistant, and also you're quite cautious, with the strength card being the situation. So I think the situation is about being cautious. Around that mentally and emotionally, there's a need to look into a situation, look into the finer details of the situation. Also, emotionally, you're being really responsible. It could be, for some of you guys, because somebody came back and said that they were sorry with that Six of Swords in the reverse. Maybe somebody wanted another chance with the Six of Swords. Six of Swords means when you return to something. It means when you make an apology about something. It could be around somebody, being very cautious around somebody who came back to you. For some of you guys, in the last 2 weeks of October, Gemini, it might be that you are not fully out of the woods. Because Six of Swords in the reverse also means delayed healing, for example. Six of Swords in the upright means when you're overcoming something and you're moving forward. You're able to see the clarity and you're moving on from something in the past and you're deciding just to move into the future. Six of Swords in the reverse means that it's stuck energy. So for some of you guys, if this isn't somebody returning, then you're not truly over something from the past. And that might be why, with yourselves, you're being very diligent, very cautious, especially if there's maybe somebody around with you that you've got a bond with, because the Strength card can actually mean that you've got a bond with someone. Might be a friend for some of you guys, and it might be mentally and emotionally you're being very, very cautious. Maybe this friend did something to you, or maybe it's a case of, with the Six of Swords reversed, you're not truly over something that happened in the past, whether this be around the friend or whether it be around somebody else from the past. In the present situation, the situation is about the past. We've got the Six of Cups showing there. Six of Cups can mean the past, or it can mean a new relationship that needs time to develop. It's all very nice when it's in the honeymoon phase, but you know, this is the card that represents the needing to develop on those energies, or this is definitely a card about the past. Around that, the present situation is the Ten of Pentacles. So for some of you guys, I think that you're socialising with someone perhaps. Maybe this is, if this is somebody that's come back from the past, you're being very, very diligent, very careful around them, for example. It might be that, yes, the situation is still talking about this person from the past, and around that, the present situation, I think if you're single, this is about really socialising, talking, getting to know who this individual is all over again. Because the Ten of Pentacles doesn't just refer to building solid relationships with people, it also refers to workplace situations, for example, is the Ten of Pentacles in terms of love, finding love in the workplace. The Ten of Pentacles can also be when you're socialising. It doesn't show it so much on the card, but usually the Ten of Pentacles can be when you're going out to a bar or you're going out to a restaurant. It's a social place that makes a lot of money. So some of you guys, it might be that you're doing some socialising with this individual with that Ten of Pentacles. Situation is around the past, and around that, the present situation is about the Ten of Pentacles. So the Ten of Pentacles might also be about a family situation, or maybe somebody that you were in a long-term relationship with. And what's the reason for that? Well, the King of Swords in the reverse. Okay. I think this is more socialising because we've got this King of Swords in the reverse. And the reason for this in the present is because of that King of Swords in the reverse. And it could be for some of you guys, it was an Aquarius, Gemini, Libra individual. I think for some of you guys, it might be somebody from the past that we're looking at here. Because this King of Swords in the reverse is showing reverse because this person's not being honest. Or this person's not said what they were going to, they've not done what they said that they were going to do. This is somebody who is dishonest, who doesn't talk the truth, who's not fair, who's not particularly straightforward with you. So I think that the situation might be, I don't think it's a new relationship. I think for some of you singletons, it might be an old relationship showing up here, being the situation, the Six of Cups, in which around that in the present, you guys are possibly doing a lot of conversations with this individual, and it's based on the King of Swords in the past, the King of Swords, sorry, as the reason. So it might be the need to find some clarity over a situation that wasn't particularly clear, or it might be that you need the truth from an individual here. Around your hopes, well, the hopes are the Page of Cups, and the Page of Cups is for love, and it's for to develop a relationship, and it's to converse. The situation is about nice conversations though. So this is the situations around the hope. It's about expressing feelings and expressing love and going on dates and being very sort of childlike and romantic. So the situation is around romance with the Page of Cups, but also romantic conversations with that Page of Cups energy. And your hopes around that, well, the Death in the reverse. So this is really to return to whatever it was that was let go. I think this is somebody, for some of you singletons, that returning from the past, from what I can see. Because Death in the reverse is where you don't completely close the door on a situation. Okay? Some of you guys, it will be to try and control something being over. Because Death in the reverse means that you have control over the way that something ends, or you have control full stop over a situation. But Death in the reverse often means, again, it's one of those cards where, you know, it shows that something's not completely over and done with, and it shows that something is still centered on the past, or staying in the past, or keeping the status quo of a relationship. And why is your hopes Death in the reverse? Because some of you guys are still very attached, I feel, to someone here. Gemini, I don't think that you can potentially let go of this person. You've got the Devil card showing here, and the Devil card shows that, you know, when you get the Devil showing up in a reading, you've got this karmic tie with an individual. It's very, very difficult to let go of this individual. It's very difficult. It's like you go to bed thinking about this person. You wake up in the morning thinking about this person. You are unnaturally bonded to an individual, and sometimes when you get the Devil card, it's inexplicable. It's so inexplicable why you still feel these energies around this person. You can't get them out of your head. It's a card about obsession as well, feeling obsessional feelings, obsessional thoughts with someone. So this is the situation around your hopes. Well, there's something about communication here, nice communication between you and an individual, in which your hopes will be to reverse the death that happened. Because we've got somebody potentially that came back here, but somebody that you're being cautious around here. The situation around the present is about the past. So this is about a past relationship, a soulmate relationship as well with the Six of Cups, in which I feel this Ten of Pentacles shows a lot of conversations going on here, possibly socialising with this individual because of the King of Swords. There are things, there are lies, there are deceptions that perhaps needed to be cleared up here. The Page of Cups is the situation around your hope. So this is about nice communication happening between you guys and another individual, in which your hopes are to reverse the death state. So basically, whatever has closed the door on this relationship will now be opened up again. And that's because the inability to let go of another individual. It might go two ways. It might be that this person has a really strong hold on you. What are your expectations? Well, there's a King of Pentacles showing here, Gemini. So it might be a person, but also the King of Pentacles can be, the situation is about somebody who's solid, who's rooted, who's secure, but also about improvements. And what is the expectations around that? Well, the Chariot in the reverse, there won't be any improvements here, because the Chariot in the reverse represents a lack of success. So you're expecting a lack of success. The situation is around a King of Pentacles. So maybe this person's come back looking far more secure, far more stable. They're saying that they're a changed individual, but around that King of Pentacles energy, you're expecting no success. And why is that? No movement forward. Because this person might still be emotionally detached as an individual. The situation is around this person after all, Gemini. And I feel that, you know, you're not expecting any type of movement forward, perhaps because in the past this person walked away. Maybe they abandoned you, for example. Maybe this is to do with your feelings, that you've emotionally moved on. Or it might be their feelings, that they're not really all there at the same time. Especially if this Knight of Pentacles is telling us that there's been slow movement, maybe in terms of somebody's feelings here, and you've been waiting for something here, Gemini. It might be the case that you don't expect movement forward because this person is still very resistant with that Eight of Cups showing there. What is the hidden factors? What are you not seeing coming in? Well, you got victory here, or it could be a fire sign individual, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or it could simply be somebody who's charismatic approaching you, or it could simply be about victory. But what's the situation around that you're not seeing coming in? The Page of Swords. You're going to get the truth from this individual. You've got the Page of Swords showing up. And why is that? Possibly because they want to start again with that Ace of Wands. They're still very attracted to you. What is the immediate future showing? Situation again, Ace of Swords, clarity, breakthrough. What's going on around that? You've got the Three of Wands. Now, Three of Wands means to launch something new, but it also means your ships are coming in. And what's the reason for that? Ah, because of the Ten of Wands. Burdens, no. This is clarity showing up here. But around that clarity, what's coming in is the Three of Wands. Might be that one of you is turning your back. Possibly you, Gemini. Why is that? Too many burdens with the situation going on here. And what's the overall outcome? The World in the reverse. The situation is about, this situation is still not wrapped up here. There's still unfinished business. What's going on around that? The Four of Cups in the reverse. So the situation is unfinished business, and yet we've got a card that represents that a deal is off the table, because the Four of Cups in the reverse often means that time has run out and the deal is, nothing is no longer being offered here. I'm just trying to think about these energies. We've got two contra energies really showing up, but this is the major. There is still unfinished business going on here. Something still hasn't come to its natural end with that with that world energy. This looks to me like a temporary thing, because all deals are off the table within this relationship. Whatever this is for you guys here, even if you're single, it's showing me some sort of relationship with somebody that you've known. And around this overall outcome, the situation being the World in the reverse, which is unfinished business, what we've got around that showing as the overall outcome is the Four of Cups in the reverse, where, you know, the offer of love from whichever perspective, whoever that is off the table with the Four of Cups. They seem to be retracting something from you. And what's the reason for that? Because they're no longer putting any effort in. This is one of those readings where you get to see real human nuance showing up here, Gemini. Real human nuance. This is the nuances of humankind. There's something that somebody does here where there's unfinished business. They're not really coming forward anymore because they're not willing to put any effort in. It's almost like this person goes away for a little bit, or they disappear. I get the feeling that in the overall outcome, somebody's going to disappear on some of you guys. Somebody who comes back with all of the intention of making things right, but suddenly they're disappearing here. Possibly because here you find out the truth. The situation is about mental clarity, and that mental clarity might be, with this Three of Wands, that you need to turn your back on this situation here, Gemini, because there's too many problems going on here. Could also be that this person's doing this. They've got too many struggles. Maybe they're struggling with something like guilt. But I think that all deals are off the table by the end of October. This person might disappear for a little while. Might not, but because they disappear and don't say anything, you don't really know where you stand, Gemini, which is why the World card is in the reverse, showing unfinished business. You haven't got a natural conclusion. This person seems to disappear, but they're not telling you why they've gone, or they're not telling you when they're going to be back, or when they're going to contact you again. We're going to get this reading again. And this is why we've got the Knight of Pentacles showing us the general energies around you. This is somebody who's very slow to move in the game of love, and they tend to leave you holding on and waiting for them. Okay, so this is the energies around you guys if you're single. And this is definitely, I feel, for some of you guys, somebody who was around you, somebody who comes back, but somebody who disappears again. Okay, so this is somebody you probably can't trust. The situation around the mental and emotional is about having strength. Okay, but also I think the situation is about a very strong bond. I think that you've got somebody around you, Gemini, who you had a very strong soulmate. I see the Strength card as being another soulmate relationship. So I feel around some of you guys, you had a very strong soulmate relationship with someone here, with this Strength energy here. But mentally and emotionally, you guys are looking into the details of this situation. Emotionally, you're being very, very restrained with that Page of Pentacles. You're being very responsible. And why is that? Because of the Six of Swords in the reverse. You're either not over something, or it's somebody that's returned to you, I feel, with this Six of Swords reversed. The situation is about the past, the Six of Cups, in which, around that in the present, you guys, it might be that you're going through some discussions with someone here. Possibly those discussions are based on this King of Swords energy in the reverse. Why did somebody lie to you? Why weren't they straightforward? Why weren't they honest with you? Why were they not being upfront with you, which is what the King of Swords in the upright would do? Could also be a Gemini, Libra, could be the same sign as you. Around your hopes, well, the situation is about nice communication you might be having with this individual. Romantic communication with that Page of Cups, in which the hope would be to reverse the death state of the relationship. Go back to the way that things were, because there is still a very strong karmic tie, karmic bond, and very strong attraction between you and this individual. This person seems to lure you in. However, around your expectations, what we have is this King of Pentacles. So I'm gathering that this is probably, it's also with this Knight of Pentacles, possibly top tier, Earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo individual, doesn't have to be. Could be that this King of Pentacles, this person showing up, is the situation around your expectations. But what is it that you're expecting around this person here? Well, the Chariot, no movement. Why is that? Possibly because you're being emotionally restrained here, or this person's still a little bit emotionally distant here within the relationship. Could also be because this person abandoned you. Around your hidden factors, what you're not seeing coming in is victory, because you get the truth, I feel, from this individual with the Page of Swords, and that truth is based on the Ace of Wands, that this person's still very much attracted to you. However, what you see is coming in the truth. Ace of Swords, again, the real truth, because this is the truth that you're getting from somebody's mouth. This is the truth that you're seeing, that you're starting to develop from what you see. And that truth is around the Three of Wands. Possibly this person is not so much invested in you. They might be looking in other directions. It could also be based on the Ten of Wands. Somebody's got too much of a good thing going on sometimes with the Ten of Wands energy showing up. Might also be that somebody's hiding something from you with that Ten of Wands energy. It could also be the truth is that maybe, just maybe, you need to turn your back on this relationship because this person is just carrying too much weight or putting too much weight on you. The overall outcome shows, well, the world in the reverse of the situation. This situation is still open-ended. There's no real ending of the cycle, no real conclusion to it. Why is that? I think this person withdraws the offer from you. I think this person possibly does a disappearing act with this Four of Cups in the reverse. And why is that? Because they're choosing at the moment not to invest in it, not to put any more effort into it. I get the impression, because we've got the world in the reverse, if this was upright, I could understand then that this was done. But it's in the reverse, which represents it's not done. It's still open-ended here with the world in the reverse. It looks to me like somebody might just go into hiding again. They might do a bit of a disappearing act, especially if they abandoned you here and they've returned here. Okay, and that's what I'm seeing for your single love reading, Geminis. Let's get some clarifier cards on the go. Not clarifier, sorry. Let's have a look at what the universe has to say to you about this. Universe Spirit, what is the advice that you have for single Geminis in this reading? What is the advice that you have for single Geminis in this reading? Show me. It says, it is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. I think if somebody keeps letting you down, Gemini, you're single, but there's somebody who keeps yo-yoing back and forth. I get the impression that this person's like a yo-yo. Just remember, don't let it affect you. And don't let it affect your ideal of love. And don't let it affect you searching for love. Alright? Because you're going to find the right person for you. It doesn't mean that if somebody lets you down that everybody else is going to let you down. The card is telling you that it is actually safe for you to love, Gemini. Even if you've been let down by somebody who keeps going, coming and going, it is still safe for you to love. You'll know the right person when you see that person, Gemini. This person probably isn't it, especially if they do disappearing acts on you and then they just show up out of the blue again. Okay? It is safe for you to love. But at the end of the day, love is all about finding that right connection and knowing that you can actually trust the person that you're with. Alright, that is your love reading for you Geminis who are single. I would like to say thanks ever so much for joining me on Carol's Universe, and hop on over to your couples reading if you're in a couple. Take care.